Welcome to my channel, Canny Gaming. My name's Mark. Welcome to episode 6 of Vranyoskaya. So we finished episode 5 where we had made some improvements to the bus routes that took people to the power plant. And we built a new bus stop here next to the Lenin statues in the center of the city, next to the apartment blocks. So we built this stop that was dedicated to take workers to guarantee that we would have plenty of workers going up the hill to make sure that we had, for winter, that there'd be lots of people working always in the heating plant and also in the electricity plant. Now, what we could do with is some improvements to our buses in the down the hill for the amenities area. And offline, I have replaced this freebie bus stop here with a vanilla bus stop. It doesn't really cause a huge amount of problems, except on my eyesight. I just hate the look of the mud bus stop in the middle of a city like this. It's one thing if you're playing in realistic mode and you start in a completely new construction area where you've got nothing. It's another thing in a city like this to have a mud bus stop. But anyway, I've put a bus stop in here, and let's just say that this is just a drop-off place. We don't need to pick up anything, and we need to rename that. And I've also put another bus stop in here. You remember that the buses were actually pulling into the parking place of the restaurant. There was no proper drop-off point here. There was no sort of bus stop here. They were pulling into this place here. You can see this bus here is doing that. And you should stop doing that fairly soon because we need to use these bus stops properly. That's the clockwise one. Where's the clockwise one? Oh, I see. Actually, I've got the counterclockwise one wrong. The counterclockwise one should come to the bus stop here next to the football pitch. So it should go from the apartment blocks to here and not to there. That should be the right way round, I think. What happened there? Let me do that again. Delete that stop. After the apartment blocks, go to there, and yeah, that's it. That's the counterclockwise one. Okay. Now I want to make more changes. So that's how it was with the new bus stops in. So basically, I've tweaked this. Just put a bus stop in next to the restaurant. So that they don't have to pull into the restaurant. So I think that would be a little bit more efficient. Wouldn't make a massive difference, but obviously, it saves them having to pull around that corner and then come back out again. When I'll just close that window there, and so you can see a bit better look at it. This route goes all the way over to this water treatment bus stop. And you remember that originally we had block 9 in here. We had the water treatment plant. We had the well where workers had to go to both of those. And we had some other buildings. We had a kindergarten, or 2 kindergartens actually, and a school. Now we've got the situation that this water treatment bus stop, well, there's nothing there really. This whole part of the city is pretty dead now. There's very little here. We could delete most of these substations, water substations, sewage tank, things like that. They're just not needed. But I haven't took the roads and things out because the buses were still going this way. So I think that the thing to do here would be, if we look at the counterclockwise loop, what we perhaps should do is make this bus simply do the loop round this part of the city. So to do that, we would go to the shopping recreation bus stop, enable, highlight that on the route, and then add in a new stop, which would be this new bus stop here next to the restaurant, and take out the water treatment. Delete that stop, save that, and you see the sort of new route. Now, the odd thing is, what I wanted it to do is do a circle around this part of the road, but it thinks that by doubling back on itself, it's a quicker way than going past the shopping centre. So we've seen before how we can force things to do this. What we need to do is put a waypoint down here, and then after the shopping and recreation bus stop, add in the waypoint, save that, and that forces it to do that. So what you see straight away now is we've still got a counterclockwise city loop, but it goes a shorter journey. Now this window is the clockwise, so we need to do something similar with that one. So it comes from the apartment blocks, and to go clockwise, I think we want to take the water treatment bus stop out, delete that stop, and now we need to go clockwise. Would bring it to the new bus stop 3, and from there we need to add in the waypoint and then the shopping and recreation bus stop. Let me just save that and see that that works. So that is doing the same sort of loop as the counterclockwise, except that it is going in a clockwise direction. So both of the loops are now doing much shorter routes. And one of the problems that we had, so that would make the frequency of the bus pickups at the apartments a lot quicker, and that should improve getting people down here. But one of the problems is that if they came here, you remember that the only place they could walk to that was in range of these sort of amenity buildings was the shopping centre. And for some people, workers that were coming down here, they were turning around and walking back up to the hospital. So we want everyone to come down into this area. They will come first of all to either that stop or that stop and get off, and that should be a lot more efficient. Now we do have one more route to deal with, and that is the water treatment workers. So I've renamed this route, this line. This is coming from the apartment blocks down to this water treatment bus stop, and it was bringing workers specifically. It only picks up workers. And again, there is no reason to do that. The workers then have quite a long walk down to the shopping centre, and we can just bring them straight down to this new bus stop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the water treatment bus stop off and add in that bus stop there, save it, and you see that's the route. They just come from the apartment blocks down to here, turn around and go back. It's a shorter route. That the buses will do this much more often, and the people then have much shorter walk when they get off the bus. So I think that will improve the whole bus system from what we've got there. Right, okay, so that's the buses. That just follows on from what we were doing before, except for one other thing that I want to improve. We did see fairly briefly that how busy this new bus stop gets. We've got 68 people working there, and we should see that eventually a bus will turn up. Now we're up to 71 people now, 70 people. And there's a bus. Okay, so let me just move the bus stop information over to there so it's pinned. And we've got a bus vehicle. And we've noted that not everyone gets off the bus at the other end of this line. And that is because we don't have enough workplaces for them to do that. So we often get a situation where the bus comes back round the route and it's already got workers on. Now, some of these workers will give up soon and get off because they've been on this bus so long. But, we've already got 71 people working here. Nowhere near 71 people are going to get on this bus. And in fact, we would even have difficulties. These buses hold 80 people, I think. That's, we can easily get to a situation where we've got more people waiting at this stop than the buses have capacity. So let's just let that go through, and we will see that it will load up 15 workers or so. Some of them have got off, and then a load have got on. That's interesting. So they will get off, and actually they'll go looking for another workplace, which means they might go and work in the shopping centre, which is quite interesting. So let's that bus go now, and bring the bus stop information back across here. And when we go to the first person on the left, it is Yaroslav, and Yaroslav has been waiting for 42 minutes already. So they waited 42 minutes, and this bus came, and they couldn't get on it because it was full. So let's watch. Actually, that suggests that it's Yaroslav. Just to make sure Yaroslav is at the bus stop. Yes, he is. Right, so we got waiting at the platform, and this is going to hit 55, 56. It's going to hit 60 minutes any second now. Okay, Yaroslav is off. He's given up. He's going to go somewhere else. Oh, he's going to walk to the police station. Okay, the police station is just on the other side of the opposite the prison. So that's actually not a bad decision. This person is not going to be unemployed. He's got another place he can go and work. So that's not so bad, though it's fairly inefficient that he stood here waiting. So let us let Yaroslav go. And now what we see is we'll go to the first person on the left here. On Onufri. I hope I've got that pronounced correctly. And Onufri has been waiting for 59 minutes. Well, he's going to give up any second now. He's going to go somewhere else. And he's going to walk to the heating plant. So what I wanted to find was, we saw somebody who'd waited for 40 minutes. Actually, what we can do is we can just go to somebody who hasn't waited very long. So here we have Timur, and Timur has not waited at all. He's just arrived at the bus stop. So what I want to do is to try and estimate how often the buses come. So where is he's waiting at the platform. So he's now on 12 minutes, 13 minutes. And I'm going to speed this up. We're now waiting for more than half an hour, 40 minutes. And I'm just going to slow it down because we're going to get to the point he's going to give up. Yeah, he's gone. And where's he gone? Oh, actually, that's interesting. He has given up on his work shift completely, and he's now gone into free time. So let's let Timo go, and I'm going to go now pick up somebody else who has only just arrived at this bus platform. Grigori. And Grigori, yes, travelling time, waiting on the platform, 0. So let's count him. So remember, we're now over an hour since we've seen a bus at this platform. I'm going to speed it up because we could have a long wait. So we're now an hour and a half. So there's a bus. Okay, so we've seen two people waiting, one an hour and one 34 minutes, but the bus had already left before we started monitoring these people. So we're getting quite close to 2 hours between the buses. I've pointed out before that, this is a surprisingly long period of time in game time, considering how short it can be when you have the game playing at fast speed. You see these buses arriving fairly frequently from your point of view, but from the citizen's point of view, this is a really long period of time, and we cannot have buses only turning up every 2 hours. So I think what we need to do here is get this line and put more buses on it. So we've got easily enough capacity to do that. Let me just go to the bus depot and buy a couple of new buses. Again, we're buying everything here. We're not bringing it from the customs house. We can buy it directly into the depot. We don't have realistic mode turned on. So we want one of these, one of the Skodas, two of those, and they have 80 passengers on each of them. Now, the line is the power plant workers. So there's the bus line. I set the line to the vehicles. So I go to the depot and have to click on each of these to tell them that they want to use that line. Okay, why is that? Already assigned. Oh, there, that's what I'm looking for, is these little symbols next to them, which is to launch them, and there they are. They're both away, and they'll join that line. So they, I think, will probably go and get they'll go to a gas station, and they will then probably go no, they will go first to the new bus platform. So we should see buses turning up much more frequently. Now, there's only a certain number of people here, and we know for a fact that in any case, when they get here, most of them don't even get off the bus because there isn't enough workplaces for them. Now, we saw at the very end of the last episode that there's a problem with one of the workplaces. So lots of people go to the coal power plant. Oh, there's some vacancies there. People can go there. Have we got some people? We've got some people actually walking in. They've just got off a bus. There's a bus, and there's probably, I wonder if there's 9 people there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is. It's going to go up to 20 people. So that is basically kept at 100%. Actually, this is another issue. We talked in an earlier episode about the fact of shifts and things like that, and the very fact that a person cannot just be waiting outside means they can't immediately take over the shift of somebody who leaves. There's always a gap because they have to walk from the bus stop into the power plant. So the heating plant, yeah, that's nearly at 100% as well. So that's doing well. Our bus is doing well for those jobs, but it's not doing anything for the secret police. So we saw there's nobody working there, and I was a little bit puzzled why we've got nobody working for the secret police. We've got all these cars and we've got nobody turning up, and everything is working okay with it. We've got water, we've got sewage, we've got power, and we have heating. So everything's okay with that building, but nobody's turning up for work. Why is that? And the clue comes down here when we look at this this bus. We can say that all of these people on this bus have the same icon. and the icon is sort of, they have a like a white top, and I think what's in the hand is a shovel, a spade, maybe people call it in other countries. But anyway, something that you would dig with, and they are basic education people. They've been to school, they've got some basic education, but they have not been to university and completed a university degree. And if you look, all of the people here on the bus are like that. And when I go to the bus stop, we've got 41 people working, and all of the people there are the same. They are all people with basic education. Now, when I go to, say, this building here, we see that the people living in this building, and we have people who, so the people with that are completely dark, I think, are on their free time. So we have workers here. We've got workers that with the shovel in the hand, that are in basic education. What we're looking for is, do we have people here who are educated people? And I think we do, but it's very difficult to spot that. But when we look further down this screen, we see the actual numbers. So next to education, it has the Red Cross, which is no education. We've got 0 people. Now, we've actually got no people in the whole of our city with no education. And that's actually pretty good. If you have people with no education, there's lots of jobs they can't do. In fact, I'm not even sure they can work anywhere. You have to get them some sort of education. So that's something where it's very tempting to bring in immigrants from the third world because they're very cheap, but they can't actually work in most workplaces because they don't even have the most basic education. So actually, this is a good figure to have none. Then we have 313 with basic education, and we do have people with university education. We have 25 people. Now, that's not a bad proportion. It could be better, but we do have people. So what we've basically got is a situation where nobody is coming to this bus stop if they have a university education. Why is that? Well, the first thing is, nobody of any type of education will ever go to a bus stop to go to work unless either they are forced to do it, or there is nowhere else for them to walk to go to work. If there is a workplace within walking distance, they will always prefer that. Now, what have we got within walking distance of this building? So if we go to the walking distance, we say that we have a school, and a school has teachers, and teachers are educated people. It has 9. This school has 15, or it has places for 15. There's not 15 there at the minute. The kindergartens have staff, but they have no educated people at the staff. The orphanage has no educated people. The university does, and it can take up to 75 educated people as professors. Currently there's only 16, but it could take 75. The hospital, this is the fire station, doesn't need educated people. The hospital does. It can take doctors. It can take up to 50. Again, we've only got 18. And there's the shopping centre, doesn't need educated people. We have a city hall. It just shows workers 18 to 25. Now, it gives us an error message saying not enough accountants and officers to show the stats. So we've got 18 people working here, but we actually don't have educated people. Again, all of the people working here are basic education, and it doesn't split them up like some of the other workplaces, but without some educated people here, we don't get this working fully. So there's plenty of places here. At least 7 more people could turn up who were educated. We would get the statistics, but there's workplaces for them. And police officers are educated people. Yep, they are. So that guy here, this one person who's a police officer, he is a university educated person. The police staff are not. And the court, the judges are. So again, that's another 20 workplaces for their police and the judges. Prison doesn't need any educated people. So the straightforward answer to this is there is loads of free places where educated people can work within walking distance. So even though these 2 blocks right up at the top of the highest ones on the hill, up the slope, these ones are not within walking distance of the university. However, they still can walk to the court and the police station, and there's plenty of jobs there. So nobody from any of these buildings, and we've got, again, go back to the statistics right up at the top. In total, we have 259 educated people, and there is more than 259 free jobs or jobs that they could go to at any one time. So they're never going to voluntarily get on a bus. So I think we already have one of these blocks. I think it could be this one, where I set, I don't know which one it is. It's possibly this one then. No, it's not that one. So I've this one. So this one I have told all the people in this block that they must go to the apartment block's platform to go to work. So this was part of me making sure that at least some people got on buses and went down the hill to work down the hill. Though I think they're for uneducated people, sorry, not for uneducated, for basic educated people, there is not enough workplaces around close to the apartment blocks. So many of them will choose to get on a bus anyway. So what do we need to do to force this issue? So if we go to this block is a free-for-all. They can go wherever they want. What I'm going to do is say, yeah, all of you people working in this block have to go to the bus stop. Now, we are basically going to force 313 basic educated people to go to this bus stop. So there'll be even more people go to this bus stop, and we probably don't need any more basic education people. We know there's no work for them up the hill at the power plant and the heating that we're already getting. But it will force these 25 people who are university educated, they must go to the bus stop. So I'm going to unpause now, and let's see if that does actually have an effect. We might not see it immediately. There we go. There we do. You can see there's somebody who stands out on the list as a different icon, and when I hover over them, they are, what's his name? Matvey Romanovich. Matvey is university educated 2.07. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to just keep an eye on Matvey. Of course, this might fail because he might end up waiting on the platform too long before a bus arrives. So he's 30 minutes, 40 minutes now. Remember, we put 2 more buses on this line to try and get them. Here's a bus coming. But his time's run out. So his time's run out, and Matvey's now decided, no, I'm going to go and walk. I'm going to walk to the hospital, and I'm going to work there. I'm going to be a doctor today. Okay, Fortunately, we have somebody else now. Is that? Yeah, this one is Eric's. So Eric's is now waiting at the bus stop, and he has been on the platform for 19 minutes. He's not going to give up anytime shortly. So has he got on the bus? He has. In fact, everyone at this bus stop got on the bus. So, this is another reason why we need to have enough buses on this line to it should be rare for a bus to arrive and not take everyone away who was waiting at the bus stop. So I am going to view this worker and let it play, and see, we're following the bus because Eric's is on the bus. I'm gonna G that and hide the interface. So he'll come up past the prison, and as normal, turn to the left, and he'll turn in here into this bus stop. And Eric's is one of those three people who are walking towards us. So there's a group of three people who are right in the middle of the screen there, who are walking towards us. And you think, well, where the hell are they going? There's no work down this road. They're right towards us where the camera is. Bang, they turn and go into the secret police. So I'm going to put the interface back on, and let's go to the confirm that. And secret police, there we go, three people. So in fact, Eric's wasn't the only person who was educated who had got on that bus. By the time the bus arrived, another couple of people who were educated were waiting at that stop. So I suspect we could get 3 to 5 people turning up on every bus. So is this another bus coming? Oh, but this one looks like it's just full of basic education people. Yeah, it is. There's no educated people amongst them ones. But we're going to get a few people turning up as secret police, and hopefully they'll go and start doing what we employ secret police to do, which is going and spying on people. So that's cool. There we go. Look, there is a car. See the black car, and that is a secret police car. It's come out from the back of there. We don't see who's working here. That's who's in the car. But let's just follow this car just for shits and giggles. Where's he gonna go? Right, okay. He's gone to a little apartment block there. Right, okay. And there's another car come out. So they're doing the business. We found more workplaces for people. Now the downside of this is, by forcing these people to come up here to go to the secret police, is those people, of course, could have gone and worked in the university, or they could have gone and worked in the hospital, and that is potentially taking away people who might have been doctors. But yeah, what I think this story illustrates a little bit is you've got a general problem of getting people onto buses, but you might have a specific problem about educated people, or the opposite way around. You might have the problem might be with basic education people. There's plenty of places for them to work, and there's no reason for them to get on a bus. So you've got to manage both of these areas, and it's not actually very easy when nobody's working here at the secret police to realise that all of the agents here are going to be educated people. The interface doesn't actually make that very clear. Unlike, say, the hospital, where it separates the two types of workers. Right, okay, so we've got the secret police working. We still, of course, got many buses coming here where they're not dropping off people. We don't have enough workplaces for them. Now, we saw the car go into this little apartment block. And look, there's people live here. So these two are the same style of apartment block that we saw next to the water treatment plant and the water well, where the player had put those in to, they seem to have given up on the possibility that people might come by bus, though they later improved their buses and were getting some people to come by bus. But I think originally, from a suggestion in the forum, they put 12 people living right next to the water well and the water treatment. And it looks like they've done the same here, that they've put these two apartment blocks with 24 people living in them right next to the power plant, and they've done something similar down here. So although we've got all of these huge tower blocks, look, there's one of these little old style apartment blocks down here, and I'm assuming that this is set. Yeah, look, it is. So it's set that all the people working here would go and work in the heating plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the people out of here. Just put them, go and live in a nice new modern tower block, and I'm going to delete your flats. Sorry, you've probably become quite attached to it, but it's gone. And same with you guys. Sorry, but I don't want you here. Because, like before, I wanted to prove that we can do this. So, in fact, actually, one of the things here is, do we have? No, we don't have. If we'd had university educated people living here, of course, they would have worked at the secret police, and we wouldn't necessarily have noticed what was going on. So I'm just going to relocate them over to the tower blocks as well. I think there's only one person living here anyway. Most of them have gone. So there. Bye. Thank you very much. Gone. So that's them dealt with, and we totally reliant on the buses, and I think the buses will do the trick. It's 18th of November. We're going to get snow in a couple of days. Right, okay. So I think that's going to be an awful lot better. But, I promised to look at water. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough time to do that. I'm going to do one other thing that we must do before winter. I think I looked before at one of the early episodes and said, okay, here's your technical services. There's 12 snowplows here. That is adequate. That is going to be fine for the winter. It is not. And the reason it's not is not so much the number of snowplows. What I hadn't really thought about at the time was because I'm not so used to using these vanilla technical offices that have 12 slots. I tend to use mods that have only sort of 3, 4, 5 slots. I don't think it's a good idea to put all your snowplows in that one building, because they all start their journey here. They drive out, they plow part of the road whichever way they're going to go. They might go up towards the customs office, they might go down towards the shops, whatever it is, but they all start at the same place. So this part round the technical office will be very well ploughed, but the further away you are from the technical office, despite the fact that the interface shows they will plough all of these roads, in practice, they will rarely plough the roads that are furthest away, and in practice that means they won't often come all the way down here next to the cinema and Lennon and the waypoint that we put in for the buses and these two shops. So what I would do here is put another technical services in, and I can show you that the maintenance here, these are the vanillas. There's a freebie one, and this is the vanilla technical services. There's a nice mod here from, I think it's Novu who made this one. It only has four slots. It's a nice little one like that, and let's see if we can fit it in down here. can. Just, oh, can we? No. Does it fit? Is it going to connect to the... Let me flip it so that it'll go in. Right, okay, so we need to just flatten the terrain, left mouse button, hold that, so we do a little bit terraforming. Not a great deal, but there's a bit of slope on here, down at this lowest point of the hill. So let that build, and we've now got a new technical office. Now, I don't think we even need to go and buy new snowplows. I think what we need to do is simply say, for this, the vehicles that are already here. You know, actually I said 12, but there's only 8. So I'm wrong about that. Anyway, is just send them down to the new technical services. Now, there is another reason for doing this. I don't think you should have purely, just one technical service that's full. And the reason for that is we know there is an update coming. The developers have told us that there's an update coming fairly soon. It's not yet out on the beta branch, so if you don't play with the beta, you might not see it for maybe another 2 months, perhaps. But I think it might be on the beta fairly soon. I can't be absolutely sure of that, but the developers have been promising this since maybe about Christmas, and that is the update will cover waste, and the waste vehicles will operate out of the technical services, so that as well as snowplows, you'll need lorries here that pick up waste. So that's coming soon. So this is certainly not a problem to have plenty of technical services capacity to be able to do that. When we get this update, we're probably going to have to build waste disposal facilities and things like that as well. So I've got a couple of snowplows now coming down the hill. Should be coming down the hill. There they come. Into this other one. I can't remember if I've sent 2 or 3. I think I've sent 3, and I think that'll be fine. So I think that'll give us a better coverage in the city when we get the snow in a few days' time. So I think that should cover it for today. I could probably get more in, but I can't fit all the water in. I can't start talking about that. That'll take me over the time. So I'm going to cut the video there, and I'll come back and do water later. I keep promising and I keep putting it off, and maybe it's because it was my damn fault that it's broken, but I need to fix it, and I need to fix it soon. You can see that our population now was 3,774. It has dropped 300 or 400 in the last few weeks, while I have been, every time I've unpaused the game to do this stuff with buses, or when I was doing some stuff with the sewage, we've lost people. I think in total we've lost about 500 people. Let me just see if we can confirm that. So when we go to, sorry, not here, our city hall won't give us statistics about the city, but we can get population statistics for the whole of the Republic. And since we only have one city, the Republic shows us basically what's in Vranyoskaya. So again, this confirms our overall population, and we can see here the overall number of people who are university educated and things like that. Now, interestingly, that shows 680 people who don't have education, but I believe they're probably children rather than they are adults who are uneducated. So what I'm looking for here is the demographic information, which is right towards the bottom. So what you see then is the births 119, deaths 58. We don't have people dying. So this is why we were getting, the population was growing until very recently, because we had more births than we had deaths. So this is the changes since the 1st of November. So let me just go back to Can I go back to, say, what are we doing here? We're going back a week at a time or something. What I want to go back to is something like the 1st of September, and 506 births, 168 deaths. So that's absolutely fine that the population is growing, and we don't really have a health problem where people are dying, but it's this 424 escapes. And when I hover over that, you see a graph below, and you see that actually virtually nobody escaped until very recently. So in fact, can I bring that closer? So when we come into October, yeah, okay. So they've all started escaping since around about when's this, the 10th or the 15th of October, maybe? Even the 20th of October. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Sometime after the 20th of October, 400 people, just over 400 people, have escaped, and that is the worrying figure. They have given up and left the city because they were so unhappy. So that's what we need to address. And this is not a heating problem, despite the fact it's now -2 and we're about to get snow. Let me just show the overlay. Buildings, interior heating, every single building in our city. Stupid. The overlay is not staying on. Always show the overlay, tick that box. I follow my own advice. There is the heating, and every building in the city is at 24 degrees centigrade, and that is the maximum. So nobody's cold, nobody's complaining about the weather. That is not a factor. They are complaining about the water system. So we must sort that out, and I will do that. I promise, I really promise I will look at that in the next episode. So thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed it, like, comment and subscribe. My channel's Canny Gaming, and my name's Mark, and I'm out of here. Thanks.